everyone, I'm Leslie Cornwell, Midwifery Business Consultation. One of the topics I want to go over is how to buy a birth center, a community center, a building for your practice with no money down. There is a lot of great ways to do it. I've been very fortunate to take real estate investing courses that have helped with the strategies to negotiate a great deal on a property, especially commercial properties with right now the demand for commercial properties is not that high. You have more room for negotiating versus if you live in an area where it's the commercial properties aren't on the market very long, they're getting above asking. It's a little harder to negotiate, to use some of these tactics to get no money down. But the one that mainly sticks out to me is a deferred maintenance credit. So instead of going into a deal asking, say it's a $200,000 property, and the person, instead of asking them their offer price, go above their offer price, blow their mind. You really want this property. It's a great fit, especially if it's an older property where you know that it's going to need, some things are going to get caught in an inspection. You can definitely offer a little more. The reason I want to show you that is because on the back end, your purchase price is what determines with your bank loan that 20 to 30% down that you're required to bring to get the loan. But when you learn these tax strategies, you learn these strategic investment negotiation tools, you can really get your down payment down, and you could get it down to no money down for the actual loan. So say you put an offer on a property, it's $200,000, and you offered them $210,000. They are giddy as can be. They're going to accept your offer over anybody else's, and they're going to be all committed. They're going to wonder why you offered them more. But you give it time, you get your inspection, you put a 7-day clause that you could exit the contract after the inspection, and you just see, you've already went through the building, you know it's older, you know there's going to be some mechanical things, you know there's going to be some deferred maintenance that needs to be taken care of, the roof, the structural foundation, plumbing, electrical, something's going to come up on that building. So after your inspection, you sit down and you get a quote from a contractor what it's going to cost for the labor, materials, time to take care of those things. Even if they don't need to be done today, they need to be done in the next year. You need to sit down and list, okay, if that roof needs to be replaced, especially a bigger building, you're going to need $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. If the windows are outdated, if it's not up to code on XYZ, especially some things get grandfathered in, and as soon as you buy that commercial property, you have to put it up to code. So all those things are very powerful in getting you a deferred maintenance credit that you'll take care of in the next 6 months to a year, versus you now have lowered your down payment requirement. So if it's a $210,000 property, you were originally going to have $42,000 for down payment. You had your inspection, there was the roof needed to be done, the heater needed to be replaced, the electrical was really outdated. You asked for a deferred maintenance credit of $42,000 on your property. When you do your title paperwork, you do your closing paperwork, your purchase price is still the original $210,000 for the property. But what happens, what money you would have had to bring to the table for that down payment of $42,000, that is now your deferred maintenance credit on your loan. Your purchase price in the end, what you're actually buying that property for, is much lower than what you offered, but you've now been able to get a loan when 20% down that's utilized by that deferred maintenance credit. There's a lot of amazing tools with real estate investing that you don't have to have your own money. You just have to know how to talk the talk. You have to know how psychology works, how the legal system works. Many real estate agents aren't going to know a lot of these tools, talking to investors in your area that want to partner or want to help you to get the property. And there's other directions. Instead of no money down of your own money, you can do donations from the community to get that 20-30% down. You could get a secondary mortgage for that from a private lender. Short term, it's usually a little bit more, but you could get and some banks allow it and some banks don't. The other option is you could get an equity partner for your business that's going to contribute the initial deposit, and then you would have terms that you're going to buy their share of the business back the next 2 to 3 years with that portion of the money they put down. So there's there's a lot of different ways you can start your own birth center, community center, practice, any commercial building you want to get. There's money out there. There's tools out there. You just want to look at the numbers. What's your overhead cost going to be for insurance, taxes, loan payment, having that secondary mortgage to pay off, different things. You just got to look at the numbers to see if it makes sense. But you don't have to be the one that's bringing the money to the table, and you truly can go to a closing without having any money down. There's a lot of great tools for that. I personally found for my birth center, knowing these strategies getting in, having exit strategies when I was done. I had made money. I had equity built up into my building. I knew these strategies to help on the other direction. It was a nonprofit organization for women that had purchased my birth center after I closed my practice. And so I made money by starting it. It was a motivated seller and negotiating the correct terms I was looking for. And then after we sold the building, I made money because I knew the reverse of how to use these amazing tools to find out. You need to figure out what the buyer is looking for, and when you eventually want to sell your building, whether it's to another midwife for your practice when you're retiring, or you decide you need a different location or that building is too small, you may be selling it back on the commercial market again. So it's really important to understand negotiating real estate investing tools and how you can bring no money to the table when you close on your building.